or so they thought. Jake Lawson was the face of the park, a seasoned trainer, 15 years with orcas, fearless, respected, adored. But behind the curtain of applause was a predator, 12,000 pounds of power, a mind shaped by years of confinement. And that day, something snapped. In less than 5 minutes, a family-friendly performance would turn into a life-and-death struggle no one could stop, and Jake Lawson would never surface again. You're watching Animal Quests, where the most shocking animal encounters are brought to life. If this story grips you, make sure to subscribe, like, and share, because what you're about to see is only the beginning. Jake Lawson wasn't just a trainer, he was the trainer. The one you'd see on every brochure, every promo reel, every guided tour at Ocean World San Diego. For 15 years, Jake gave everything to the park and to the orcas that lived within its towering glass walls. He wasn't just performing beside them, he was living for them. To the audience, he was charismatic. To his colleagues, he was fearless. To the whales, he was family. He started as a part-time feeder when he was just 19, a biology student with a quiet passion for marine life. But it didn't take long for the supervisors to notice something different about him. Jake had a way with the animals, especially the orcas. They responded to his voice, his presence, even his silence. By 25, he was a lead trainer. By 30, he was the head of Ocean World's Orca program. His co-workers called him the Whale Whisperer. He never used fear, never raised his voice, never forced a performance. And somehow, the orcas followed him. But that bond came at a cost. Jake had logged more free swims, those rare, unprotected swims inside the tank, than any other trainer on record. He believed trust was more powerful than protocol. Even when others raised concerns, Jake shrugged them off. He used to say, "If you treat them like killers, that's what they'll become. If you treat them like partners, they'll protect you." And for 15 years, they did, until one didn't. Kanak was no ordinary whale. He was born into captivity. 12,000 pounds of muscle, intelligence, and instinct, bred behind walls of glass and raised under stadium lights. He had never tasted the open sea, never felt the pull of the wild. From his first breath, he was trained to perform. Trainers said he was calculating, observant, quiet in a way that made even the most experienced handlers nervous. While other orcas responded eagerly to cues, Kanak often hesitated, not out of confusion, but deliberation. Like he was thinking through every command, every movement, every choice. Over time, Kanak earned a reputation, not as the star performer, but as the unpredictable one. In 2017, during a routine swim session, Kanak broke formation. Without warning, he dove beneath a junior trainer and grabbed her leg, pulling her underwater for nearly 45 seconds. She surfaced gasping, terrified, clutching her knee. The park issued a short statement calling the incident minor, describing the behavior as playful curiosity. But among the staff, there were whispers. That wasn't play, that was power. Kanak had been involved in other incidents too, refusing to return to holding areas, slapping his tail at the gates, refusing food unless it came from specific trainers. And yet, because he never caused serious harm, the show continued. Some believed Kanak acted out because of stress. Others said he was lonely. Whatever the reason, one thing was certain. No one fully understood what was going on in Kanak's mind, not even Jake. And on February 17th, that gap in understanding would prove fatal. Ocean World was built on dreams of connecting people with the ocean's most majestic creatures. But behind the polished glass tanks and choreographed splashes was a history most visitors never saw. Over the past 2 decades, Ocean World had been cited multiple times for safety violations. Trainers injured during rehearsals, inadequate safety barriers, malfunctioning emergency equipment, falsified reports. Each time the park paid a fine, made a statement, and moved on. Behind the scenes, the orcas were often pushed to their limits. Grueling performance schedules, limited stimulation, isolation when they didn't cooperate, and as the animals grew more unpredictable, management became more aggressive, in discipline and in denial. Whistleblowers had come forward before. Former staff who claimed the park ignored warning signs, downplayed injuries, and punished trainers who raised concerns. Most were dismissed. Some were silenced with non-disclosure agreements. Jake Lawson wasn't one to stir the pot, but even he had started asking questions. He'd requested more time off for Canuck, expressed concern about his behavioral shifts, pushed for a temporary pause on free swim performances. But the pressure to perform was relentless. Ticket sales were up. The show was a centerpiece attraction. And Jake was the face of it all. He was assured everything was fine, that the protocols were in place, that Canuck was simply acting out. So Jake did what he'd always done. He trusted the system. He trusted the whale. And on the afternoon of February 17th, he stepped onto that platform one more time. February 17th began like any other show day. The skies over San Diego were clear. Sunlight shimmered off the surface of the Orca pool. Tourists filed into the stands, clutching popcorn and cameras. Children leaned over the rails, waiting for a splash. The speakers crackled to life with upbeat music. It was a full house. Every seat taken. Behind the scenes, Jake Lawson prepared the way he always did. Quietly, methodically. He ran through the show sheet with the team, checked the cues, and suited up. But before the crowd arrived, he took his usual time alone with Canuck. For 30 uninterrupted minutes, Jake rehearsed inside the tank. Just him and the whale. Observers said everything looked normal. Canuck followed every command, glided through the water, nudged Jake playfully when he surfaced. There were no warning signs, no aggression, just routine. But some trainers now recall something else, something they didn't notice until it was too late. Canuck's pacing was slightly faster than usual, his eyes more fixed. He didn't vocalize during the hand signals like he normally did. And when Jake turned his back, Canuck's fin twitched. At